Iris even admitted it. Yeah, so, yes. And also, everyone knows who Elise Doubtnam is. Elise Doubtnam is Misty Faye, the mother of Maya? Why should the mother kill her own daughter? God damn it. Yeah, I mean, yeah, this is, yeah, I mean, yes, this is the lie we are going to, like, expose, I guess. So, let's move on. Now then, Mr. Wright, please proceed with your cross-examination. Yes, I will do that. I will save and then I will press the shit out of her. And after I done that, I will open a portal to hell and I drag this whole mountain down there. Let's go. Sister Iris, your testimony has changed quite a bit since yesterday. You stated yesterday that on the night of the murder, you didn't go to the inner temple. Did she know? Too bad for you. What she said yesterday doesn't mean much today. By the way, where were you when she claimed that you didn't go? I was in... It was in the inner temple's training hall. A private conversation between the two of you does not constitute testimony. That would be properly described as hearsay, okay? What do you have to say, witness? I just couldn't tell him the truth at the time. Mystic Maya, she's your girlfriend, isn't she? I didn't want to be the one to break it to you that I saw her commit murder. But you're doing this right now, so I don't know. There, we all understand how difficult this is for you. Now then, let's continue with the testimony. Okay. You're saying that the victim attacked Maya. I mean, it's Faye. Yes, it was a truly frightening scene. Mystic Maya was struck hard on the head and looked like she was going to collapse. What are you doing? What were you doing at the time? Why didn't you stop them from fighting? You know, we had this in the Phoenix Wright case. That she didn't, like, do something. I'm terribly sorry, Mr. Wright. I was frightened. I couldn't move. I couldn't even speak. I was in such shock. That's perfectly understandable, my dear. This doesn't sound right. I don't believe this testimony for a minute. What happened after that? You know, the normal things. She moved in to deliver a fatal strike. Yes, I'm sure of it. She threw down her staff and reached into her robe for a weapon. Wait a minute. What was this weapon? It was some kind of dagger. Okay. A pointy boy, huh? Now we going for pointy boys? Now we getting the knives out? Chat, knives out! Show this Iris what a real knife looks like. A dagger, huh? Yumi's like, I'm ready to step. I'm ready to step a guy. Prepared for this situation with the right emote. So good. Oh. Weird knife. And Elise Doubtnam tried to stab her with this weapon. To kill Miss Faye. Yes, exactly. Huh. Can't believe that I was crying earlier. Oh god. You look like I did. You look like I did after I mistakenly took a swig of Worcestershire sauce. What? Do you have a problem with the testimony we're hearing from your client, lawyer boy? Do I have a problem with Iris's testimony? You know. Your Honor, I have a small problem with the witness's testimony. You do? But this witness is your own client. Yes, well, nevertheless, that's fine. Witness, let's add your last statement to the testimony. Yes, sir. Hey, just a moment. It's my job to say that. You shush. Listen, Gramps. I won't say it again. Final judgment will be rendered by me. Okay, good. Cool. Okay, now, let's continue. She threw her staff away. Mystic Elise was trying to kill Mystic Maya. I think that's why she wanted a more lethal weapon. It's true. It's not easy to inflict a deadly blow with a staff. Sister Iris, let me make sure I've got this straight. The victim herself chose to throw away her staff. Yes, that's what I saw. Is there anything odd about that, Mr. Wright? Yeah, it's odd, right? Mystic Elise attacked Mystic Maya with a dagger. I'm sure of this. A big shtick. A big shtick is perfectly capable of being deadly, yeah. You know, I was in college once, and like the girls in college, they called me big shtick. They was afraid. They weren't afraid of me, like, you know, because of my nickname. They all thought I would, like, you know, being deadly. You know. Let's go. And then Mystic Maya, she turned things around, and then she used the weapon she had taken and lunged forward for a strike. Witness, are you absolutely certain? Yes, but believe me, she had no choice. If Mystic Maya hadn't done something, Maya Faye's name would have been written on this autopsy report instead. Yes, I see. This is bad. I still can't put the pieces together. I can. Unless I find a contradiction in testimony, Maya's going to get blamed for this. I only have this to say. It was only in self-defense. So you're saying Maya Faye was the one who stabbed Miss Elise Downham? Mr. Iris, is that really what you saw? Yes. Tried. Ahazu coffee. If your muck is filled with black and bitter suspicions, the only way to get rid of them is to drink them down quick. Like this! I know that's supposed to be metaphor, but I don't get it. There's only one thing you need to get tried. It's called evidence. Now hurry up, before my next cup gets cold. What does that mean? Is Godot waiting for me to point out the contradictions? I like to avoid the whole spirit channeling thing if I can. Not only would it be inadmissible as evidence, I guess, but I think it might actually hurt her standing with the Dutch. First I need to pick her testimony apart and expose the unnatural surrounding parts. I don't know why Iris would tell a story like this, but there are two things I noticed that just don't add up. Two things. Okay, let's go. This is true too, yeah, like, sweeten it a little bit. She threw her staff away. Do I have like a photograph, like, showing that the staff was found in the crime scene or something like this? No, I mean, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Like, the thing is, we don't know which blood is on the staff, so maybe she hit someone. For real. Let's just go with it, I guess. Mr. Iris, there's something strange about your version of events. Huh? Miss Downham throwing her staff away makes no sense to me at all. But all you can do with a staff is hit someone. Yeah. Naturally, you won't know this, Sister Iris, but the victim's staff had a special feature about it. As you can see, it's a sword. A sword! Huh? If Elise Downham really had wanted to kill Maya Faye, she wouldn't have needed to use a separate dagger. Not when she already had a beautiful blade in her hand already. Beautiful blade, huh? Well, Sister Iris, what do you have to say? Ahazu coffee? That was an impressive bit of investigating tried. I never would have thought there was a sword hidden in that staff. But even so, how should I put this? A long sword is unwieldy and thus quite ineffective in close quarter combat. I don't know if this staff is considered as a longsword, and you know, like, it's still a sword and it's still a pointy boy, so you can like trust with it. I could show it to you. Should I show it to you? Okay, just for fun, I'll show you how to use how to use a sword in close combat. Okay. Yoo-hoo, I can show my knife. No. So, this is an 1.5-handed sword. Okay. So, now we come in. Now we come to the training part. So this is I can't touch it because, you know, oil. This is a 1.5-handed sword, and if you are in close combat, you can do like this. You can do like this, like stabilize the weapon, and trust someone. Easy. Like you can use this as a dagger. Like this is so easy to use, and you can even use the handle. So yeah, easy. Come on. So, thanks for being here, Calypso. So yeah, you can easily use this in close combat. It's only a long sword, so it's okay. And it is even more powerful than just a dagger, because you can get like unarmed easy, I guess, or it would be much harder because, you know, a blade is there too. But yeah, you can use it in close combat, but you know, maybe that's why she chooses a dagger over her blade. Well, anyways, the type of weapons he chooses to use isn't what's important. The important thing is that she tried to kill Maya Fey. As long as there is nothing strange about that, there's no problem with her testimony. Okay, but there is something strange about this whole testimony. Well, Mr. Wright, the prosecution has a point. Very well, Your Honor. The defense will now present evidence to back this argument. Mr. Wright, I have there another piece of evidence that shows that this testimony can be trusted. Because Miss Doubtnam would never attempt to take the life of Maya Fey. Should I do this? I guess I'll do this. This is the easy way. Huh. Well, Mr. Godu, if you ask me, the only thing that seems strange... Are we going to punish me now? Are you stupid? Use words, dude. What? Like, this is the proof that she is the mother. Like, what? Should I just show her? Okay. It's basically the same thing, but it's okay. Elise Doubtnam would never have attacked Maya Fey. How can you be so sure? Because the victim's real name was not Elise Doubtnam. Her real name was Misty Fey. Fey. No. The talisman should work too, but it didn't. It hurt my soul. And my credibility at court, I guess. Not Mystic Misty Fey. Who is this Misty Fey? She related to? Misty Fey is the master of the Kurain channeling technique. She is also the mother of Maya Fey. Are you serious? Yes. Oh, I have to clean. I'll clean my blade after this. You know, I only use it once in a while, so should use oil on it. Is it really true, Mr. Wright? Was Elise Doubtnam actually the great mystic Misty? There is no doubt about it. It looks like Iris had no idea. I can hardly believe it. The idea that she would try to kill her own daughter, one she hadn't seen in 17 years. Perhaps the prosecution can offer some explanation for why she would do such a thing. Yeah, like... I can't. Order in the court. Upon first hearing the witness's testimony, it seemed natural enough. However, in light of some facts that have just been presented, one, that the victim supposedly threw away a sword during a fight, and two, that the two people battling to the death were mother and daughter, despite the facts being unbelievable when taken on their own. When taken together, the entire story seems difficult to believe. Akio, more coffee. Listen, there is nothing in this world that is impossible. Except for one little thing. Yes? What is this one little what is this one little impossible thing? Ah, you still don't get it. You think maybe my beans are under roasted, but you have no idea, Grams. Could you get to your point? I heard this witness's confession this morning. Just as I had taken the first sip of my 8th cup of morning coffee, you're going to ruin your health, my friend. Anyway, after hearing this woman's confession, I had a detective who last to investigate sent to the scene of the crime, and he discovered this little beauty. Dagger. Is this the dagger the witness testified to seeing? Obviously, Your Honor. But do you not notice something else? Now that you mention it, if you look closely, there appears to be blood on it. Where did you find that? I didn't see that when I investigated the crime scene. Did you investigate the pine tree at the crime scene? Huh? The pine tree? The dagger was stuck in the backside of the pine tree. When the last blow was struck, ending the violent battle between the two women, this little baby was thrown in the direction of the back of the pine tree. I wonder what Godot's voice is. Incredibly deep, maybe. Oh no, we couldn't see it from our visual novel perspective. Yeah, it's a fraud. Which means the blood on this dagger belongs to the victim, correct? Huh. Were you even listening, old man? I first heard this confession this morning, just as I had taken the first sip of my 13th cup of morning coffee. Didn't you just say it was your 8th cup? I didn't have enough time to get the blood analyzed on such short notice. In any case, the court will accept the dagger as evidence. Furthermore, I order that the blood test be performed on it immediately. This is my sweetheart. Make sure you treat her right. Bailiff, get this piece of evidence to the crime lab for testing immediately. Dagger added to the court record. Okay. Now then. Testimony we've just heard had numerous unbelievable aspects to it. However, after having found the very dagger the witness spoke of, I believe we can consider her testimony to be credible. Akio, more coffee. Cute girls never lie, ever. In any case, witness, if you could please testify again to the court. About what, Your Honor? About the incident you saw, the battle between the two women. Sorry, yeah, Your Honor. Violence all the time. This is true, but I guess she's not considered as like cute. Mystic Maya stabbed briefly after being hit over the head with the staff. I feel like Twitch is broken again because of games done quick. Because like Twitch loses the ability to count again. I hate this so much. Mystic Maya stumbled briefly after being hit over the head with a staff, but then she dodged Mystic Elise's next attack and stole her weapon. Suddenly Mystic Elise was the one on the defense with her back to the stone lantern. With her back. Okay, so we don't have to hear anything because she can... If she was stabbed in the front... Stupid idiot. That's when Mystic Maya stabbed Mystic Elise. Mystic Elise managed to fling the Niffy away, but then she collapsed. Gotta go. Gotta go. Goodbye, bed. Hope to see you again soon with, like, Skyward Sword, I guess, Zelda stuff. That was a very heartbreaking story. I don't know if there were any bad feelings between them, but it had been 17 years since Mystic Misty disappearance. Perhaps they simply didn't recognize each other anymore. That seemed reasonable. Yeah, you know. Now, it seemed reasonable, like stabbing a person you never saw before. If you know, if they go the road of she doesn't recognize her, why should she kill someone, or the other way around? Now then, Mr. Wright, proceed with your cross-examination. I go like I try the fast pass here. Let's go. Let's try the fast pass. I save. Let's try it. This evidence clearly reveals the contradiction to the statement, Your Honor. How exactly are the evidence and the statements not just now related? Are you dumb? I hate this game so much. Again. Suddenly, Mystic Elise was the one on the defensive, with her back on the stone lantern. That's when Mystic Maya stabbed Mystic Elise. Should I do it now? Okay. Oh god. Something about you... Oh god. Something about you just isn't right today, Iris. Huh? Until now, I didn't think you were the type to make such a careless mistake. However, the testimony you just gave contains quite a few contradictions. What do you mean? What's so wrong about my testimony? According to you, Maya Face stabbed the victim while she had her back to the stone lantern, correct? Yes, that's right. But in that case, the victim would have been stabbed in the stomach, right? Yeah, I think so. But according to the autopsy report, the cause of death was due to blood loss from a stab wound in the back. You know, this proves that the victim was stabbed from behind, not from the front. Sister Iris, it appears another seed of doubt has sprouted from your testimony. You better die. What is the meaning of this, Mr. Wright? Akio coffee. Ha, it's simple. I missed him. People are like books. We've all got a front and a back. You get my drift? Is that all you have to say? I can also say that darkness loves to play with the human mind. Will you please knock it off with the cheesy proverbs and illogical metaphors already? The point is, too much of this testimony just doesn't make sense. Throwing away a useful staff, the people fighting being mother and daughter, and now she falsely claims the victim was stabbed in the stomach. There certainly are some inconsistencies. Sorry. Well, Iris, how about it? Well, it's just... If you ask me, you're just being too naive about the whole thing. What do you mean? There are 243 distinct types of bitterness in coffee. But to pick out each one requires total concentration and the use of all the senses. Were you really concentrating on what this witness actually said? Prosecutor, go do, explain yourself. The witness was quite unambiguous about her own ambiguities, I don't know, when she said that the garden was dark and she couldn't see clearly. I don't know that she said that because I didn't press anything. So, a human needs one thing to see clearly, and that is light. Light. Yeah, but by the way, did you know? Asakura has a rule that on nights when an Arcaloid is at the inner temple training, the stone lantern in the garden must be kept lit. I did wonder what that stone lantern was there for. Well, if that's true, shouldn't the witness have been able to see the crime more clearly? Normally, yes, Your Honor. But according to the head nun, Sister Begini, on the night of the crime, it was impossible to light that stone lantern. Impossible. It hadn't been used in a long time, and the wick was no good. In other words, it had to have been nearly pitch black in the garden that night. But the other lanterns were, like, lit. Like, we know this. There could have been a faint light coming from the training hall, but that's all. Most enlightening. Aki, more coffee. Yes, that illuminating fact has chased all the contradictions away. If the staff was dropped, it would be difficult to see. The staff was dropped? Okay. It also explains why they didn't recognize each other. We can't see the demons that lurk in the night. That's why humans are weak. Isn't that right, Wright? What? Order! Here, Your Honor. Let me present the stone lantern into evidence. Maybe it will rekindle the flame of truth in your mind. A lantern from the inner temple garden was not lit the night of the crime. Why is the judge just sitting there with the look on his face? What's wrong, Your Honor? Was that flame too hot? This lantern, there's something written on it. Why? It's written in blood. Boy. So the judge didn't know about it yet. Written blood? It says Maya upside down. What the? Oh yes, that's right. After being cornered and then stabbed by Mystic Maya, Mystic Elise didn't fall down right away. She must have been writing that on the stone lantern behind her. You know, she knows that. She couldn't see anything, but she can see like that she like wrote upside down stuff. Good. With the blood that was draining out from her body. It certainly looks that way. Hang on just a minute. What are you all talking about? What do you mean? What are you talking about? Talking about the message written in blood. Nonsense. This lantern is it's as clean as a whistle. Huh? But it can't see the bloody writing at all? Now that I think of it, he did say something to me yesterday. My eyesight is pretty messed up. Even with those huge goggles on my head, I still can't see everything. Or because maybe everything is red? So that's what he meant by that. In any case, this is obviously an important clue. We now know that the crime scene was dark, and that the victim scrawled this message on the stone lantern. Well, Mr. Godu, anything further? Yeah, bitches every time. Yeah, I guess so too. Yeah, Mr. Godu. Yeah, I don't know why they're doing this again. Like this, like writing and blood stuff. Okay then, maybe she wrote everything in blood in every case. Godu is literally shaken, and somehow I don't think it's from caffeine overdose. I believe it has now been established that Miss Downton was killed by Maya Fey. That's just wrong. Now it's time to turn our attention to you. Yes, sir. After the victim died, you did something, didn't you? Let's hear it. We're all ears. Sister Iris's cover-up. So I point out all these contradictions and we are still established that Maya killed her. Okay, let's move on, I guess. After Mystic Elise died, I called out to Mystic Maya. I thought it was my duty to protect the future master of the Kurain tradition, so I removed the body from the inner temple by myself. I dragged it behind me all the way across Dusky Bridge. Then I used the snowmobile to carry it back to Hazakura Temple and... I used the Shito to alter the way the wound looked. So you moved the body. Yes, I was raised at Hazakura Temple. Oh, a great deal of thank to the Fae clan, but even so, I never imagined that Elise Doubtnum was actually Misty Fae. I've committed a terrible sin. Terrible trick of fate. I believe you're looking for a twist of fate, Your Honor. I intended to return to the inner temple after taking care of the body, but you were spotted by the Hat Nun, correct? Yes, and that's why I couldn't go back. Your story makes sense, I suppose. Why could she was like, no? Yeah, she saw her, this is right. But she passed out. She knew that she passed out, so why not go back to the inner temple and just say, yo, I wasn't at the inner temple the whole time, eh? Like, this makes no sense. The story makes sense, I suppose. Oh, yeah, this too. What? Mr. Wright, go ahead with your cross-examination. Yes, Your Honor. She dragged her over the bridge. Sure. So you waited until everything was over before making a move. Oh, it's not like that. She saw someone murdered right in front of her eyes. It's not surprising that she was a little timid. Yes, I suppose that's true. Sometimes when I'm watching lawyers argue back and forth with each other, I feel so helpless that I just sit quietly and wait for them to reach a conclusion. Isn't it your job as the judge to meditate the argument? It wasn't until Mystic Maya saw me that it finally dawned on her what she had done. So then, you knew. You knew the significance of the name Maya Fey. Yes, of course I did. That's odd. I mean, Sister Bikini didn't recognize Maya's name, let alone her position. Anyway, she was a very special person indeed. Why did you do that? Because I didn't want Mystic Maya to be suspected in any way. I thought the best thing would be to remove the body from the crime scene. You moved her body all by yourself. Yes, I did. It would have been impossible if it wasn't for the snow. The snow, huh? I dragged it behind me. How did you do that? It's pretty amazing you could make it all the way across that rickety old bridge. It looks worse than it is. I'm surprisingly sturdy despite this age. It's like they said, idiots are too stupid to catch even a simple cold. But there's one other thing that bothers me. Why not just throw the body into the Eagle River? It would have been much easier than dragging it all the way to Ahazu Temple. I thought that it would still cast too much suspicion on Mystic Maya. That's why I tried to take the body as far away as possible. Huh, makes perfect sense to me. No, it doesn't make sense, because, you know, if she like is disposed in the water and nobody saw her, then everybody can just say, yo, she's gone missing in the mountains, and you know, maybe she's not dead, maybe she's like missing. It was like bad weather, she was like, I don't know. Perfect sense to me, for the time being. Anyway, what did you do after you crossed the bridge? The snowmobile. I knew that it would show up sooner or later. Yes, I had the key. I used the snowmobile to travel from Ahazu Temple to Dusky Bridge. This is the part that was questioned the other day. Should I ask for more detail about the tracks, yeah. If you really did move her body by snowmobile, then there should be tracks left in the snow, right? Well, yes, naturally you would expect tracks. This picture was presented at yesterday's trial. Are these the tracks from the ride? Yes, I think they are. But I can only see one set of tracks here. I don't see what's so strange about that. Snow was still falling when I left Ahazu Temple. I see, snow was still falling, huh? And then when the murder took place, it had already stopped. That's why there are such fresh-looking tracks. How about it, Mr. Wright? What do you think about this testimony? When the murder took place, the snow had already stopped. It doesn't make sense if you stack it up against the other evidence. Your Honor, I'd like the statement I was just made add to the testimony. Okay. All will be made clear if you allow her statement to add it to the record. Huh. This should be fun. Fuck you, coffee. You. Let's get this snow business clear up, shall we? Yes, sir. By the time the murder took place, the snow had already stopped. Let's go in the weather data. No. No. Okay. There have been a lot of contradictions with your testimony so far. This time you're sure it's all true. Yes, I am. When the murder happened, the snow had already stopped. According to you, that's why the snowmobile tracks were so clear. That's right, I'm certain of it. I think I've trapped her this time. I see how you think. Snow, huh? What are you going on here? If the snow really had stopped by the time of the murder, it means there's a bigger hole in her story than that movie, The Grid. Ah! Well then, Mr. Wright, perhaps you'd like to share your theory with us. Let's see what's up your sleeve, or rather, at the end of your index finger. I don't want to believe it, but I don't think my logic is failing me. Iris is trying to pin the murder on Maya. But why would she want to do that? There's only one reason I can think of. I have cornered her? The snow had already stopped. The snow has stopped. How do I, like, show this? Because when the weather stopped, she couldn't do the bridge because the bridge was only... I mean, yeah, she could. I dragged it behind me all the way. Oh yeah. Maybe it's better to show the bridge on fire. No. I guess it's the. I dragged it behind me all the way across Dusky Bridge. But I guess Dusky Bridge was on fire, so maybe this is the statement. My girlfriend said, like, yo, maybe you're doing the wrong statement again. Yeah. Oh God, this. Oh God. Yeah. Okay. You claim that again, like it's every time the same. I have the right idea, and the game is like, no, dude, no, it's not. You claim that the snow had already stopped when the murder occurred, but I'm sorry, Iris, it just isn't possible. What? This is the weather that. Oh, I'm going. If you cross the bridge can't be on fire, so it must have happened before that time. Okay, we're going down this road. Okay. Yeah. Okay. This is the weather data from the night of the murder. According to this, the snow didn't stop until 10:50. But you couldn't have crossed Dusky Bridge at the time. Why do you say that? Just 5 minutes before the snow stopped, Dusky Bridge was struck by lightning and had caught on fire. What did you say? The bridge was on fire? You don't mean to... You don't mean to say you didn't know about it? It was because of that lightning strike that the bridge burned down. What? But it can't. But it can't. It looks like you still haven't figured it out. No matter how hard you try to deceive or conceal the truth, you can't pull the wool over the eyes of the real defense attorney. No, defense attorneys, no, my only weakness. Order. Batch, my only weakness. The bridge was already on fire when the incident took place. That's right, the Dinner Temple was already totally cut off from the outside world. There is no way you could have crossed the bridge, body or no body. Huh? Witness, even my pathetic patience has its limits. Any further lying, I will find you in contempt of court. I will break your neck. Do you have anything to say for yourself?
Objection!
Akio Coffee. The only person here that is truly contemptible is you. Old man. Me? How dare you? Whatever this witness lied or not doesn't mean squat right now. What? The important thing now is to find out the truth, isn't that right? Yes, of course, but whatever it was snowing or not snowing, or whatever the bridge was burning or not, there are two facts that can't be disputed. First, the body of Elise Doubtnam was discovered in the Hazakura temple courtyard, and second, the head nun, Sister Bikini, witnessed Iris doing this. He makes a good point on both accounts. That's right, I'm not lying. Okay. What are you claiming this time? I wasn't myself at all that night, so my memory is still somewhat haze. You have stood at the witness stand and testified this entire time. Are you telling us now that your memory of that night is hazy? It is only human to err. If you're so perfect, Wright, maybe you can explain this for the court. What is it? When the murder happened, the bridge had already burned down. But somehow the body traveled across the bridge and was found in the temple courtyard. Perhaps you have found some kind of perfect explanation for this little magic trick. Yeah, I guess I have found this. I guess they like catapulted her like over the frickin' ravine for some weird reason. Oh, well, not exactly, but I know there must be some other way she could cross that burnout bridge. But unless I can somehow demonstrate it, we'll never know the truth. It looks like the defense is not prepared to offer a suitable explanation. Akio, more coffee. You see that what I mean. In other words, you're in a position to suggest that this lady's testimony isn't the truth. Yeah, I mean, I'm all the time in this position, so this is nothing new, I guess. Alright then, witness, let's hear your testimony once more. About what, Your Honor? You've admitted that you moved the victim's body. Nevertheless, your prior testimony contained a rather large inconsistency. Please add an explanation for that to your testimony. Yes, Your Honor. Will this be her final testimony? I don't know. Moving the body. Let's move the body. Let's move the body. Other than walking over the bridge, there's no way to move the body. So I must have just gotten confused, I guess. Was the snow still falling or had it stopped? Does it really matter that much? Or are you saying that there is a way to cross the burning bridge? Is this testimony? No, this is like... so it was just a misunderstanding, I see. This is a photo of Dusky Bridge after it burned down from the lightning blast. It was taken on the morning after the incident. It certainly was burned to a crisp, and one of the suspension wires even snapped. It's amazing the whole bridge didn't fall. Clearly it would be impossible to carry a body across a bridge in this condition. The bridge photo added, okay. Unless I do something to discredit this testimony, it's going to be deemed as the truth. And Maya will be accused of murder. Right, I'm only going to say it one more time. It is only human to err, and only humans can spot the errors of our ways. The more sense he makes, the less sense he makes. Alright, Mr. Wright, please begin your final cross-examination. This is final. This is the end. This is the end of everything. Like, when we know how to move the body, everything will be done. So, I try fast passing this, and I just show the freaking picture of like, okay, yeah, I try to fast pass this. Let's see, a dead body flying over a burning bridge. I wouldn't exactly rule out the possibility. What? Okay, coffee. Huh. You're saying it's possible, don't make me laugh. The only thing that's possible about your claim is that it's been pulled out of thin air. I don't know about that. In any case, we have a witness who did see it happen. That's true. Fast pass this trial. To hell. Who is this? Who is this witness? I can't chicken out here. I'm gonna keep on the attack and go, go, go. Mr. Elise Downton's brilliant and highly gifted apprentice, Lawrence Downton. Brilliant, highly gifted apprentice. Remember what he said in his testimony. That night he was at the Mountain Shack Heavenly Hall, and that's when he witnessed the event. I think we'll all seen the sketch before. It's an exact drawing of what he witnessed that night. Are you serious? Today's not April's Fool's Day, is it? Mr. Wright, are you serious claiming that the victim flew through the air, and you're using this pathetic scribble to support your argument? Uh-oh, the judge looks like he's about to blow a gasket. Huh. Well, Wright, there's no here for you to hide now. Other than looking like it was drawn by a 6-year-old, does this sketch prove anything? Yes, I'm pretty sure it does, and I'm going to prove it. Listen, I know your tricks. You're trying to turn this whole thing upside down. If you're so eager to turn this case upside down, why not start with this sketch? Upside down. What did Godo say that? Alright then, let's hear the defense theory. He was like lying overhead, so everything is like, this is under the bridge, so they used the wire to swing this on the other side. I see. This is clever. Like, yeah. I don't think old Whiskerface is going to forgive any more mistakes. Alright, Phoenix. Yeah. These are the wires. Yeah. Okay. Look carefully and think it over. This sketch drawn by... Exactly what happened. Of course the victim was flying through the air. Oh no! You can't see it right there in the sketch. Whoosh! You know, you're starting to remind me of yesterday's witness. That was the last thing I wanted to hear. Do you have any evidence that this victim flew through the air? Whoosh! Just so you know, we haven't discovered the giant human catapult in the inner temple yet. I wish they had. I wish they had. Even if you're a lousy lawyer, at least you're 1 cup's worth of entertainment. I think we should skip the penalty this time. Huh? There must be a way to use Larry's sketch to show the truth of what happened. Are you... So I have to say this is contradicting? So everything was right, but it was wrong in the end? Are you stupid? I go this road again. I go this road again. Like, hello? They even hint this. Oh, I guess I should say this evidence, it's completely contradiction. Let's try this. Something is obviously funny about this sketch. I'm not art critic, but even I can see that. No, that's not what I meant, Your Honor. Lawrence Downton stated this over and over, that this sketch was exactly what he saw. However, if they're to believe his testimony, the sketch contradicts reality as we know it. Contradicts reality. Ah, it's getting interesting. Looks like you're back to the finger-pointing thing again. Okay, Wright, so what exactly contradicts reality? This? This? The wires going up? Where did these wires go? Yes? Yeah, I guess because they like point into the heaven now, huh? This makes no sense. If this wire connects to the bridge, the wire... Huh, is that the thing that contradicts reality? It is indeed. Then show us the reality it supposedly conflicts with. Show us something that will point out how this sketch contradicts reality. The photo that I just received, I guess? That's the photo of Dusky Bridge, correct? Yes, now compare the sketch and the photo for a minute. In the sketch, the wires appear to be above the god wire. But on the actual Dusky Bridge, what? The wires are below the god wires. What? Order. The sketch is somewhat different than what's depicted in the photo. However, isn't it likely that the artist just saw it wrong, or perhaps he just drew it wrong? Either way, it sounds like you're just wrong. It's just right. With someone like Laurice, I admit a mistake is a definite possibility. But then that begs the question, why did he make a mistake? What was the reason? Are you saying you know the answer to that? Listen, think back, alright? Remember what Laurice was doing when he witnessed this event. He was at Heavenly Hall waiting for a lover that was never going to come. He waited and waited and finally he lay down. But then, lightning shoots from the sky and sets the bridge aflame. I'll ponder what sort of position Laurice must have been in at the time. He was lying on his back, which is why he remembered the scene the way he did. He was lying on his back. I can't see how it relates, but it does, Your Honor. What is the reason why the wires are upside down? No way. Lawrence Downton witnessed the event while he was lying on his back face up. In other words, the scene that he saw was actually upside down. Easy. And now everything is clear. So then, this sketch should actually... I think you finally get it, Your Honor. The correct way to view Laurice Downton's sketch is like this. Wow. This is how it should actually look. The victim's body wasn't flying above the bridge, it was actually swinging below. That's right. That's like a pendulum. Ridiculous! Order! Objection! Of all the things to say, a pendulum. The bridge was burning to a crisp. There was no way to get across it. But if the body had been found at the inner temple, it would have caused problems. This is where the criminal decided to take a gamble. They used the burning bridge to get the body across to the other side, and the pendulum was the only way to get it done. Let's think about this for a minute, shall we? Lasky Bridge is about 20 yards long, which means it's about that far from the inner temple to the opposite cliff. Yes, that sounds right. In order to cover the distance with a pendulum, you'd need a rope at least 10 yards long. To get a rope that long, you have to plan ahead. No. Lightning strike at night can only have been an accident, so it doesn't make sense that the culprit would have prepared the rope beforehand. So then, they didn't have to get the rope ready. The rope was already right in front of them. What? I'm saying that it was just a matter of using what was already there. In that case, Mr. Wright, please give us an explanation to support your theory. What makes you think the criminal had the rope on? What makes you think? I mean, I don't know, I can do this. And I can do this. But I guess the map makes more sense. Because on the map we have the thing, you know, where the crystal was found. I will look to my girlfriend for this. Oh, you can see the wire here. Yeah, but again, you can see the wire in here too. You can see the missing wire in here. But a missing wire. Yeah. I get it. Yeah. Let's go. And the meaning of this is, if you want to know where the rope came from, okay, it's hanging right there in front of your glorious beard. This is one of the wires from the bridge. When the lightning struck the bridge and set it on fire, one of the suspension wires came loose from its anchor. The criminal didn't have any time to waste, so they tied the wire around Elise Downton's body. Silly clowns are on. Like, is it a circus? Because there was simply no other way to move the body. Huh. Yeah, chuck it down, dude. I have to chuck this truth down too. Like, come on, Mr. Godoo. He will never empty this cap. It seems that Mr. Godoo is more focused on his coffee than answering my question. It seemed that the odds of a rope being readily available were very high. Sorry, I butcher now, but no. So I suppose that it's not an impossibility after all. Possible or impossible? That's not the question we need to ask. There's only one question: did that really happen? Right. I wonder if you can prove that what happened. Do you have actual evidence that the body was swung over like a pendulum? I get the crystal ball. I try. Before I present my evidence, let me review what we know so far. According to this photo, one of the wires snapped. Looking at the map, we can see that the one that was in front of the inner temple. So then, that was the spot. That was the spot where the criminal. Yes, precisely. Now let us consider the body's movement by looking to the overhead map again. If the body was pushed from this point here, it would drop on the opposite bank at approximately this point. Did you say drop? Well, they must have failed to catch the body on the other bank. What makes you think something like that happened? Because they have evidence that suggests her body dropped some distance. Oh yeah, we have like her autopsy report. What kind of evidence? Take a look at this autopsy report. It says here that her body fell about 10 feet after her death. 10 feet, huh? That's most likely the height difference between the two sides. The body overswung due to forward momentum, but then came loose and fell about 10 feet. And then, as a result of the landing impact, this crystal sphere was knocked loose. That's... yes, the bloodstained amethyst crystal is the one that came off of Miss Elise Downton's staff. And even more important is the place where the crystal sphere was found. Indeed, I believe it's already marked on this overhead map. The crystal was found, precisely, Your Honor, in the very spot where the pendulum would arrive if given the right amount of speed. This explains your theory quite well, Mr. Wright. You have provided us with a way the body could have been moved that night. But snapped. An impressive deduction, Mr. Wright. Most impressive. Mr. Wright? I thought this cold coffee might help cool you down. What is the meaning of this, Mr. Godu? More coffee, Akio. And a new cup, I guess. That was a dark and bitter guess that you made, Wright. But you forgot about one thing. Oh, what could that be? The aroma. Huh? The coffee's most reliable accomplice is a deep and profound aroma. The rest of the court doesn't speak Finese. Can you elaborate a bit more? If the criminal had sent the body to the other side, like you say, then naturally they must have been an accomplice lying in wait to catch it. Accomplice. The criminal wasn't able to cross Dusky Bridge, so who collected the body? What do you have to say about that, Wright? The Godu is correct. This can't be the work of the single person. Well, Mr. Wright, you know what you must do. Yes, Your Honor. The body couldn't have made it to Hazakura Temple without an accomplice. Very well then, if you please, Mr. Wright. Who was the person that received the body on the other side? We can say Bikini. Can say Bikini, or we can do like the Dahlia Hawthorne thing now, but I don't know. Like I don't know if I want to like bring the dead back here. I guess we could go in with Bikini here. I try this. I guess. The thing is, like, the criminal would be on the side, right? The criminal would be on the side, on the right side of the bridge. So no, they had to like find him there, right? So yeah, I don't know. I tried. Well, Mr. Godu, I'm sure you have something to say. The aroma just now smells of sulfur. Okay, no. Safe. She herself? I can come over, it's okay. It can only be you, Sister Iris. Huh? But I don't see why you're so surprised. The only way to transport the body from Dusky Bridge is by snowmobile. But with her bag, Sister Bikini could never pick up a body like that. You're the only one that could have managed it. But that she was the one who killed her, tried. Were you even listening to the witness's testimony? On the night of the crime, this little cutie pie was was on cleanup duty in the inner temple garden after the mother-daughter bloodbath. I haven't forgotten. But have you, Mr. Godu? This witness was also seen at Hazakura Temple. Yeah. Strange indeed. It's almost as if on that night the defendant was in two different places at the same time. Sister Iris, let me ask you something. Why didn't you mention it when you first gave your testimony? Mention what? The pendulum, of course. Using the sketch drawn by an eyewitness, I have established now the body was moved using the burned out bridge, which means it's now a fact that this occurred, something you should have already known. Had no idea. I didn't know anything about a pendulum. But the body couldn't have been passed along to the other side without your help. So you should have known about it. In fact, it would be impossible for you to be clueless about this whole thing. Unless you're not really Iris to begin with. What? How can you say that, Mr. Wright? What kind of nonsense is this? You're saying this witness isn't Iris of Hazakura Temple? Are you serious, Wright? You mean this woman is... There's no one besides Iris that could have received the corpse that night. Now I get it. Now I know why I've been sick to my stomach this whole trial. Why her whole demeanor changed so suddenly from yesterday. And why she's trying to pin this murder on Maya. The woman that's standing there, the witnesses stand. The real name is Dahlia Gillespie, you know, from Silent Hill 1. I never thought I'd have to utter your name again, let alone see you. It's been a long time, Dahlia Hawthorne. Hawthorne? Sister Iris had a twin sister. And you're looking at her, Miss Dahlia Hawthorne. That name rings some bells. Distant bells, but bells nonetheless. Ah, it's just your imagination, Gramps. The file contains all the relevant data about Dahlia Hawthorne. She dead. Oh yeah, I remember now. The case 5 years ago. My name is Dahlia Hawthorne. Yeah. But, according to this, Dahlia Hawthorne is already dead. It says her execution was carried out last month. So what? Death has no meaning to this courtroom. What? Order! Wait a moment. How can you? My sister, she's already dead. What kind of... You of all people should already understand. After all, the blood of the master of the Kurain channeling technique flows within the body. Flows within that body. The Kurain channeling technique? No way have I heard that. That's right, you're not Dahlia Hawthorne herself. You're the spirit of Dahlia, currently inhabiting the body of a spirit medium. What an exciting story. Exciting, but quite impossible. You're asking us to buy the Dahlia Hawthorne just happened to be channeled by someone on the very night of the murder to the temple where her twin sister Iris was. Well, if you're going to put things that way, then yes. How crazy can this be? Is this Maya now? No. We're supposed to believe a coincidence like that just happened. Naturally, it was no coincidence. The whole thing was part of a plan from the very beginning. It's all written here in these instructions. Ah, what's that? These instructions were written by your mother, Morgan Fay. And part of the plan calls for Dahlia Hawthorne to be channeled. that night, there were 2 irises at Hazakura Temple. So, I wonder, let's talk about this again. So, Dahlia Morgan Fay was arrested 1 year ago. Before she was arrested 1 year ago, she wrote a letter that someone should channel her dead daughter, but she was alive when she was arrested because she was not she was not executed. She wrote a plan that you go there a month later after execution, but you can't write this, I guess, so because you don't know when the execution is. So how can you make like this master plan if you don't know if she is dead or not? Like there is a huge flaw in this whole thing. Like you can't do like a, 1 year before you get, before you get arrested, just 1 year ago, you can't make up a plan to summon a freaking dead person who is not dead when you plan this. It makes no sense. You can't do this. There were 2 irises. 2 of them. Even the time of the channeling was planned out. As soon as you hear the lights out bell, in other words 10 PM. However, Iris was seen before dinner time. That means the Iris that was at dinner was the real Iris. And the Iris who gave me this hood in the main hall was also the real Iris. Meaning that the Iris Sister Bikini saw at the inner temple was someone else dressed as her, namely one Dahlia Hawthorne. Do you even know what you're saying, Wright? This whole channeling the spirit of Dahlia Hawthorne business. Yes, it's true that you found plans that talk about it. However, there's one thing that's perfectly clear. The witness currently standing in the witness currently standing in the witness stand is the real Iris. What? Akio coffee.